Just makes me happy every
Me
single
too.
time.
Me too, honestly. It's really great.
Well, okay, David, first thing before I get into all of this, do you know where the applause button is?
The
Because
applause button.
we need to have a round of applause because guys, it's finale week. We did it. We did it.
Yay!
Yes. Yay. All right. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tally the Votes, Australia Survivor Season Redemption Finale Week. I am here with David and Christy, and we're going to cover everything that happened in this final week of Australia Survivor and probably a little bit on the reunion show. Guys,
A little bit. A little bit.
that there really is actually a lot to talk about. This is not
Yeah.
just a fun phrase to use. There
But
is a
doesn't
lot
it-
to talk
But
about.
it
before
does-
we even get going, I just want to say, why is it that Australian Survivor was careening towards the worst season in history and suddenly became Incredible Survivor?
It was wild. It was a wild.
I mean, it was
finish.
like
Okay.
it was like, my
You know
God,
what?
what a great ending.
So
Yeah.
we were all pretty much all season like kind of gearing toward the returning players because we liked so many of them. They were
You
and
bet.
it was so fun to watch them play again and pivot on their game. And but okay, so at this point that's who we were going. We never even considered what it would be like if they were all gone and this was what we had left, right? But then suddenly we realized, wait, this is pretty awesome. This is going to be a showdown.
Well, we got
Oh my God.
we
So-
got kind of lucky in there being a few people that we sort of kind of latched onto that we did like that were working with the returnees and some against. And then at the end we were left with those people that we kind of liked. So worked out for us anyway. Maybe not so much for the returnees, but
Yeah.
Well,
You know.
the returnees, let's call it what it is. It was an own goal for Simon and for Brooke.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they
for sure.
basically voted themselves out by going after people they shouldn't have gone after.
Got a
Well-
little bit too ahead of themselves.
I think they did a really good job, though, honestly, of staying ahead of it for so long, right? Weeks, right? Look, they went
Yeah.
out. They went out so late.
They did
honestly,
hang in a
considering.
long time. Like how
Yeah.
far past merge they got, that was surprising.
And they both like really turned their game up and were so much more likable this season too. Like we liked them coming in, but liked them even more throughout to see how well they played.
Yeah.
Right?
But they had two opportunities when the other players gave them the same number they had, and they couldn't hold it together both times they turned on each other. And
Yeah, they
then
missed
and
the
then
beat.
and then
Mhm.
Keeley did the same thing. So it was Simon, then Brooke, then Keeley, all went out for the same sin
Yeah.
of voting out their own
Literally.
alliance member.
Yep.
Well, you know what? At least they didn't go out holding an idol one after another because that is embarrassing.
Oops.
Well, let's do a really quick recap here, just so we kind of set the scene. We are jumping right in where Sally was feeling really high. She believes that she kind of had the biggest move of the season.
yeah, that's right. She thinks she's done
She's
well.
like, I did it.
Yeah.
and
and
she
where have we
brags
heard
to
that
Caleb.
before? I don't know.
Yeah,
Ben,
so tricky. So tricky.
Cameron, like everybody wants to take the thing that they think they
just
did.
want it. They just want it. But she
Well,
brags
really,
to
it was
Caleb and
Blanche. Blanche was the one.
Blanche, this whole time, she started the revolution against the returnees. Such novel thinking.
Yeah. she
Sally
genius.
brags to Caleb and talks about what a great game Caleb has had. Ooh, silly. That's such a good move for you. And of course, this makes Caleb really nervous. And he and Laws agree that if Jackson does not win immunity, that they're going to write down Sally's name. And they again swear their loyalty to each other. Okay, this challenge, I've named
You're
it.
the-
It's a big boy. That's the name of this challenge. That was really funny. They're like, wow, it's a big boy, even bigger than David.
It was weird how it was like in the jungle, and it was like
Oh, this is the immunity. This
Oh,
is the
sorry,
first
sorry.
immunity. Yeah, not the
You-
torture chamber
Oh,
yet.
sorry, you
Yeah, we're
blipped
the
out for a
first
second.
episode, not the second.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Now,
sorry. It's all a block
Okay,
for me.
so this was pretty cool with like the bucket of water, and then the thing comes down, and and you have to skeet that ball under. There's been so many challenges this season where I'm like, I kind of want to try that.
You know,
it looks kind of fun. I kind of want to try that.
like with all of these like traveling shows, like how Dancing with the Stars goes around does shows, like why doesn't Survivor get this together? They could have just people working it, and it could just be come out and try the challenges, or
Just
Hey,
check it out. Walk around the set.
The last 2 months.
sorry.
And there's a Survivor Cafe. It's a traveling pop-up show. It's in Miami right now.
Oh, you haven't
I just
gone?
haven't had the time, and it ended, I think, last weekend.
Ugh.
Oh, David.
Yeah,
bad.
you know.
Too bad
Yeah.
for you,
Fake-
as Jeff
fake
says.
fan.
All I have to say is there comes a time in every person's life where your parents age to the point that you become the parent. And I've
Well.
You
gotten
just
there.
got to switch gears and take care.
Oh,
right?
well,
Well, you know what?
you're gonna be the winner of that challenge in life.
Yeah, you get him. You get
No
him, kid.
worries.
Well, Jackson wins this immunity, and he needed it.
Oh, I'm
course he
so
needed it.
happy for
and
him.
we're day 42 for the
Yep.
record at this point.
Yes.
Or,
And,
or roughly American Survivor plus
Two-
16.
Round two.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like twice now. Twice the length.
Yeah, plus the sequester.
And,
Plus
and that's
the-
why watching American Survivor, they go, it's day 13. I'm like, oh, shut up.
So many more days than that to come. All right. So now Caleb is getting antsy about cutting Sally since Jackson won that immunity.
Ooh, and at this point was where I start realizing how skeletal his face is looking.
Oh, he's skinny
He
bitty
looks
for sure.
right. He looks kind of like sometimes when they would show him, he looked like he was like just dazed, like staring.
And it's one of those things
it's a
that
little eerie.
and it's one of those things that we always witnessed in the original era of Survivor is that you would see them
Yes.
for so long looking a certain way, so then when you get to the reunion and you see them back at their healthy weight, you're like, oh my god, they
It's
really
jarring.
were falling apart.
Yeah.
They look terrible.
Somebody posted that one of the American survivors from 49 posted a picture of her before she went on and a picture of her after.
Mhm.
And she's like, it's amazing how much your body changes.
Wow. Crazy.
Well,
Anyway, that's where Caleb's at. He looks like he's been out in the desert
Yeah.
too long. And
struggling
he's kind
to
of
wake up in
losing
that
his mind,
sand.
right? He's kind
Well,
of a
he's getting a little squirrely, I think.
yeah.
He wants Sally cut. Okay, so he's going to put his trust in Laws. He really is putting his trust in Laws here. He's kind of talking about how he wants a tie. He wants it to go to fire if he can't get Jackson to vote with him.
Mhm.
He wants him to vote Sally, but he knows this is one of those moments. Kids, perk your ears open, because this is one of those moments where we talk about how Caleb is underestimated.
Mhm.
Caleb can't just go to Jackson and tell him to vote for Sally, because Jackson won't do it. It's like no, that's what you want, then I'm not doing that.
Because they have this weird relationship, right?
Yes.
And yet another mistake made on that side of the
But
ledger is
what's
Jackson
so-
absolutely should have voted Sally out.
But what's so interesting here is that he knows he'll get a no. He'll know he'll get pushback, or maybe he won't even get pushback, but he knows it'll make Jackson do like the oppositional thing, right?
Mhm.
And so what he does instead is he goes to Jackson and then he tells him that Sally is his number one, and talks about Sally and how she's his number one, which is what prompts Jackson to go, oh, maybe I want to get rid of Sally. Well, Jackson goes to Laws and says, hey, Caleb's picking Sally over you, says she's his number one. And then that gives Laws moments to stop and think about it. But I loved that right there is the perfect example of these little things that Caleb has been doing. That's nothing really big, nothing really showy, but just little things like that shows that he does understand who he's playing with.
Mhm.
He kind of knows what triggers a move in them, you know.
Mhm.
I walked away from that situation just like, oh my god, clever boy.
Do you
Uh,
do you guys love the rule though that a tie at 5 goes to fire, or at 4 goes to fire?
I'm okay with. I'd way rather prefer that over it always going to fire.
Always
at the
just
end.
mandatory fire.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
fire as the tiebreaker.
But I sort of thought if they just played with the regular rules, then basically Jackson would determine who goes home.
Get to pick his pick. Well, I don't know. I didn't mind this because
Just like the
interesting-
final guy.
an
gets to.
interesting thing here
Yeah.
is like this whole go to fire situation and it bouncing around. What is interesting to me is that if Caleb and Laws had gone to fire, I wonder what the result would have been, because she's by and large one of the best with fire.
Yeah.
He made that fire
But
quick.
He did,
right?
He was not worried about it.
He did something
No.
I've never seen done before. Is he built it? He started his fire. He built his teepee, and then he just threw the stuff on top and it ignited it.
Yes, like just get it right up there. Why wait for the flame to grow? Just put
And
it in.
apparently, building a tower and putting husk on top of it's okay.
That's all right.
But we're so used to seeing them rock the baby.
But that's
In
cha-
Australia.
But we did
but
get
that's
Simon to rock
changed
the
the-
baby
That's
this
changed
year.
the challenge forever now, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Now you just build the tallest thing you can, put husk on top of it, and hope it burns through
You
the
just
world.
need one good structure underneath and put all the fluff on top. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's another point in his category of wow.
Good job. Good job, little
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
You chaotic
But
little
at this
monkey.
point, I'm thinking like Jackson, what he should have been telling them all. Okay, so Laws, Sally says that, or Caleb says Sally says whatever. Why don't you now talk the girls into getting Caleb out? Caleb is clearly the front runner, but I feel like Jackson is the only one who sees that.
Yes, that's it.
Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I honestly think the only people left, there's people sitting on that bench that are aware, but the people that are left, or the people that worked with Caleb the majority of the game, they don't see it.
They
It's like
don't.
they just don't see it.
They think that Caleb's moves are their moves because they discussed it. I'm sorry. Like Sally really thought she had like a good resume. And I don't think at this point it's like the only person that I felt was going to even have a chance against Caleb if he got to the end would have been Jackson, just because
Yep.
he had relationships on the jury.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Neither one of those
Your
ladies
point.
were going to win unless they went up against each other.
It is
I
interesting
felt
though,
like,
because
but-
their viewpoint versus our viewpoint
Sure.
is so skewed. I mean, we are not on the same.
Sure.
We are not seeing
Which
things the
maybe
same
is
way.
another brilliant thing that Caleb was able to like handle them so well. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. Sure. And also we get the story that, you know, the production and the editors want us to follow, which might not
Yes.
be much of anything that's going on there. You know, it might
That's
not really be a
true. But
thing.
it still had
Like
to be
I kind of
filmed.
feel
It
like
still
the
had to
whole
exist.
like I kind of feel like Jackson going to Laws and then like the Laws looking really stressed out about the Caleb thing. I think that's a lot of slow moving cameras and sweeping
Sure.
music. You
Oh,
know,
sure. Sure,
I
sure,
have
sure.
a sneaking suspicion
were
Laws
dumb
was
and-
probably like, ugh, you know,
But both of those girls were dumb that they didn't listen to Jackson.
they
Just
should
saying.
have listened to
I'm just saying.
him. Yeah, they
Um,
should have listened to him.
Whatever.
Yeah. So, okay. At Tribal, Caleb again defends going to fire. Sally doesn't want to go to fire. Jackson doesn't see fire as something that's worthy of a resume move, but really what he's saying is that he doesn't want it to go to fire. But then Laws kind of steps in it and sets it up. So I don't know. I gotta say, I really like. I love the messiness of some of these people. You know,
Well, it
but
becomes-
the vote goes into that tie between Sally and Caleb, and then it allows Caleb to go into fire,
well, because
and then he kicks its ass. But Jackson going over to Laws and saying, like, you literally just gave him another move for his
You're
resume.
dumb.
What
You're
were you doing?
basically he went over there and went, duh. You're stupid.
Gar.
and I really like I don't dislike Laws at all, but I'm frustrated that she did not see that she, for all of her talk about playing this,
Yeah.
the game, that she didn't recognize him as a threat. She's a woman of a certain age. She's got some experience. She's a
Well,
mom.
and then when you see
She should
like
be able to detect danger a little better.
what she did to get there, you know what I mean? Like you see like a lot of these people, like they go through so much to be able to go in and compete and do this. And she's definitely no exception. It is frustrating. She's not my favorite player, but for someone who is in the middle of that trio consistently to misread it right at that moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know, did she misread it, or is this that like, is that loyalty promise? You know, did she just think, oh,
Oh.
I'll be fine, or is that like, I promised a loyalty and I'm gonna be loyal?
I feel like you play the game the best way you can to get to the end, and not and while also not being super messy in your social game. But at some point, sometimes you have to be disloyal in order to advance
You do,
yourself.
especially to your ally.
And I'm tired of this narrative that like, oh no, that's bad. Yeah, maybe that's bad when there's still like 15 people in the game, or 10 people in the game, or 8 people. At what point is it okay to be disloyal so that you can win?
Yeah,
It's
you
that's how
gotta,
you do it.
yeah,
then
you
have
gotta
a- and then-
outwit is it's in there.
No
And it's
doubt.
the first one.
And I feel like if anybody goes to the jury and then votes because, oh, that person had an honorable game, and that person shouldn't even be on the
We
jury.
heard a little bit about honor, right?
You
Like,
don't understand this game.
honor
You
and
shouldn't even be
integrity.
you should have to forfeit your jury membership and
Well, in
you're done.
reality, every jury member can create whatever criteria they want in their mind
Sure.
and vote on
Mhm.
it, which is what makes the game so insidiously clever. Is you could
Correct.
watch every season, but you don't know what the group of people you're going to.
Because that
Right.
is where the social game is everything, because you can
That's
predict
exactly
their
that's
moves.
exactly
How
right.
would this be? How would this be? What if at the final tribal, the last 2 or 3 or whatever, however many they have, they come in, they make their pitch, they answer their questions, and then the jury's going to deliberate, and then they go to a separate place, and we hear them discuss it, and we see that the people, they don't get to see it,
Yeah,
and then they vote. How interesting would that be?
That'd be
a little
very
bit like
interesting.
traders. Little window like traders.
I think it would be super cool to see, especially when there are returning
deliberation.
players that have stuff that they could point out. Like deliberate before you have to go final vote,
Yeah.
because they don't really get that afterwards. And
No,
maybe there would be a better.
Enjoy that, or like some deleted scenes of that at least. Come on,
Maybe
like,
that
how
would
interesting.
maybe that would encourage better gameplay overall. But anyway,
Yeah, good point.
we digress. Sorry, that was a big tangent about deserved wins, I guess.
It's all right. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. This is a safe space for tangents and
Okay,
pissy
good.
heads and all of those things.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Episode 2. Here we go. Now we're in day 43.
Day 43 or
Caleb?
44.
Okay, it's 43. It said so on the screen. They wrote down what was on the screen, unless they lied to me. Okay.
Oops.
Now, Caleb is feeling like really indebted to Laws. Like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
He ain't wrong.
And he's not wrong. But
No.
doesn't that feel like a really dangerous statement to make right there at this point? Like, that could be used against you in the jury, for one. Like big time. And 2, you should make your number one ally really nervous that you just said that so loud.
You mean dangerous because she can make that argument that he's only
You're only
here, in
here
the end
because
because
of
of
me.
me. I don't think, if that's how it had run down, I don't think anybody on the jury would have believed it. They'd have been like, oh, the only reason Caleb's there is Laws.
Her vote
So
saved
I don't
him.
really think it was that
Saved him.
dangerous for him to say, but she absolutely should have thought,
I could use this.
what?
Yeah. So, okay, this is really fun because this is where this thing happens. Okay. We start getting this like new energy of confessional coming out of Jackson. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I know that it's Australian. And so my brain's going to want to make that connection to like the Irwin family or something. But like that energy was there. I was like, oh, he's going full Irwin. And then I realized, no, he's going into WrestleMania. Like, this is it. He's performing his wrestling character right now. Kind of loved it.
I did
Lots of
too.
fun.
I did too. Yeah, he's fun. I think he's very charismatic, I think.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know. I think he's likable. And I honestly think he will come back. We'll see him play again.
I really hope so. I do. I hope so.
And maybe him
his
and
story
Caleb.
arc was worth it,
Yeah.
So okay, now we're gonna go into the torture chamber.
Okay, so first of all, I just want
What
to say
a beautiful
okay,
set, right?
yes, it was like the
Damn.
middle of the jungle. Oh my gosh, it was super awesome. Oh, do we need to talk? What was that for?
Yeah,
It's
what's
day
4 for?
44. That's what the
Okay.
wiki says.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I'm
Does that mean,
telling
did
you,
David-
I go
did
back. I'm
you
pretty
just
sure it
disrupt
said
our
day
flow
43.
so that you could say that you were right.
Well,
Did you just do the most
Well,
Have-
mansplaining
have we
thing
met?
ever?
of course I did.
Okay,
Oh my
if you
gosh.
David, I challenge you. If you really, really want to be right on this, I need you to go back to the finale episode opening where it shows what day they're on, screen cap
And then
it, and you will show it.
and then send it to her.
Well,
Otherwise,
was that the night though, right after
I-
the vote? And
I'm
then it
gonna tell you-
and then the whole episode happened the next day.
I'm going to tell you what
are
I
we
do.
both right? We're both right.
Yeah, we're both right.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
okay,
I
okay.
do is I write down the day that the screen on the television says.
Right.
That's all I know. That's it. Oh, okay, that's what day we're on. I lost track back in like day 4. Otherwise, I don't know. They've been out there for like a year, right? It's been like a year now.
Right.
Feels like it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so
long time.
torture chamber,
Anyway.
torture chamber and
But yeah, so pretty, so green, so lush.
Yes. It was.
Really, really
And then
well
the
done.
like the torchlight of it all, and
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
that was-
really liked it, and it wasn't, and the way they did it, because you could see all 3 tiers, right? Like you
Mhm.
could see them there staggered. You knew right, you looked right at it, you knew it was going to happen. Exactly. He didn't even have to explain it.
you're like, well, that's gonna suck.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, look at how pretty that is. That's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, so we get to the torture changer, and then they bring in the cheerleaders from home, and we get to meet Caleb's dad, Steve, Laz's daughters, Isabel and Indigo, and Jackson's mom, Joni.
Okay. First of all, I have to say, Caleb is so tiny. He's got this big bear of a man
His
dad.
dad's,
He's like this little boy still. That was
He's so
really
itty
cute.
bitty.
It's my baby son. And then
He could still bounce him around on his
yeah,
knee.
he
Like,
d-
honestly.
Oh yeah, he could. Yeah, he could. It's kind of like, you know what it is? You know what their Halloween costume has to be? Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr.
Oh my God, yes. I'm gonna rally for that.
All right. Anyway, so then we get to see Jackson's mom, and she's really like never left the country, doesn't have a passport,
Oh my God.
made it all
Okay,
happen
did you
just so she
guys
could be there with him.
did you
and
guys
he's-
cry? Did you get emotional? Because
He literally had no
I-
idea it was going to be that. He's
literally.
like, who would come here for me?
I was
he-
literally bawling.
Yeah.
Like I was like, like,
There was
it
no way he
like-
thought it was going to be his mom. And
There's
here she
something
comes-
about a mom's love that she goes and gets a passport and gets on a plane for like the first time in her life and goes and sees her son. That's pretty fucking cool.
and he's you
something
clearly
that probably
can
she's kind of afraid of, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I that was kind of it
Or not
wasn't
comfortable
said,
with.
but you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Definitely
Like
not
he's like, you
comfortable.
got on a plane. But
Yeah.
I mean, and we've kind of seen it throughout. We've seen little nods to it from what he has said. when they won that one reward challenge, but also just you could just kind of see it in him in general. But like there's been a lifelong struggle, I think, that he's had in that relationship with his mom and living up to whatever expectations that she had of him, and him really wanting to go his own way. And and just to see like his very real response to seeing and feeling his mom being there and actually like meaning she's proud. Like he I think that you can say it over the phone and it might be nice to hear, but like,
no, but it was
you
like
could
actions.
see him,
How
you
is
could
that?
see him feel it,
How once your children are adult, like it's how do you actionably show them that you love them, right? Like once you're adults. So maybe this was like this grand gesture that for him he understood. Like,
yeah.
wow.
And I think he's walked around
it's really pretty,
feeling
really.
maybe feeling a little bit ashamed of certain things where he just was determined to do his own thing.
Yeah, his choice to drop out of college and pursue wrestling, and knowing that they didn't think that was a great idea. Oops.
Oh, you're muted, David.
You're muted, David. Oh God, who did that to you? Who would ever?
I did it to myself so I could crack a Diet Coke can.
Okay.
So, but I think there's something to it that what they said was that wasn't said was they probably had a real tumultuous relationship, like in his teens and early 20s.
Yes.
And I think he was just going his own way and she didn't like it. And so I think for her to show up and talk about how proud she was, I think
this is
that
like
was
their real forgiveness era now.
It felt like you were watching a live psychological breakthrough on TV. Like suddenly, like it didn't matter if he won in that moment.
It was redemption, my friend.
Right. Isn't that like the whole theme of the season? Like that.
And he says that. He says it right before the challenge kicks off. We're all here for one reason, and that's redemption. So,
so beautiful.
Okay, you know what? I gotta say it. Hats off to the editors, writers, production, because I recall all of us at the beginning of this season being like, yeah, they're like really stretching some of these people's redemption stories, like just to fit the theme.
But here's
look
the deal.
At us now, and we're like,
no. They got lucky because they had already called it redemption. And then they had Simon say it like 52,000 times.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you.
But this redemption, they did not plan this. This just fell into their laps.
Real. This was real, and this was very real and earnest, and it was great. It was just
And then we got to see Laws's two girls who were the cutest little cheerleaders, like cheering her on.
Yeah, good job, Mom. Hang in there.
Yeah.
You can do this, Mom.
And I like that, like Australia still like they do the right thing. Like even though like they probably were only budgeted to have one person come. To have the girls come, they had to have both girls and somebody watching.
And a chaperone.
So they paid for 3 people to travel, and there just ain't no way Jeff's production, it's all about the dollar, is ever going to do that again.
Only if it's going to guarantee a good emotional response, my friend. Like, is there going to be good TV?
That would just have to be a really sad story, I think, for Jeff to buy.
Well, I think this was very, very sweet. I always love the family visit. It's always interesting to see who they're attached to, and
especially on day 44 it is, because you've got to figure, what do you figure, they're a week 10 days before the game starts, so they're
2 weeks.
Okay, so 2 weeks. So at 44 you're really at 58 days since you've seen your family. That's 2 full months.
And it's not just like it's not like 2 full months at college or on a business trip.
No,
it's 2 months of being very paranoid and not being able to trust anything or anyone.
Right.
Brutal conditions.
Well, do they have their phones up until they enter the game? I mean, do they have them like for that 2 weeks?
I think when they're in sequester, it's all turned over. I don't know the exact rules for Australia, but I know like in Survivor and in Big Brother, they talk about sequester sometimes. And like there are people who have never played Survivor or never played Big Brother, and then when they're in sequester, the seasons are available for them to watch or view, and sometimes that's the first viewing that some of these contestants have. And we can talk about this later, but did you guys know that did you guys know that Keeley is like new to the Survivor game?
No.
Isn't that interesting? Because last year, Kirby,
Yep.
or 2 years ago, but
2 years ago.
Kirby, like, say, look at you, ladies. There's something about having a fresh take, right?
Do you think that production tries to find somebody every year that who's not familiar? Do they try to pull one person?
I think it's
those are two really good choices, and they probably
I think it's a really. I think it adds some interesting
But
dimension.
it probably takes a certain
U.S.
kind of candidate, right?
needs to do some of that. They need
Yeah,
to. They shouldn't have only people who audition.
But
They should have. They should go find some people.
or
that
just
are
not
interesting.
have super fans all
but
the time.
not just models. Because
I'm not saying
just
I'm not
models.
saying hot
They did,
people.
like,
Although I
casting-
do like
casting
looking at
things.
hot people
No,
generally.
no. But I
As,
would
as
like
do
them.
we all.
I would like
Oh
them to
yeah,
go
but
out
you
and
could
find-
go. You could get a local comedian, or like
Right, but I'm
somebody
saying that-
who's
but
gonna
I
be
do
good
think they
TV but isn't a model.
They
should be recruiting people that are interesting, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And Kirby was a very strong player. Just seeing her, just how she presents herself. Like they
Mhm.
had a winner there, right? Like a person that, like, oh wait, this person
Felt
has
like a
certain
winner
something.
right away.
Well,
like,
But they've never played the game. Right there in their brains, that probably was like a winning combination. How would this kind of person doing the game, coming in this kind of confident,
I think
that she
it's a
kind of
really
does?
interesting casting decision. I
And
like
then
it.
and then for Keely.
Yeah.
For Keely, just her background and being so smart, so calculated, understanding the mind of a fraudster, understanding liars and deception and what they do, in her daily job, has
Mhm.
got to give her a certain set of skills, and she clearly used them. So I'm just saying, like, maybe the Survivor people can
And-
find some, like, I don't know, ex-CIA, or I don't know, maybe like FBI, or some of them people who might have certain
a
skills.
little bit of S in
And
it.
what Keely did, because Keely wasn't a super fan or a fan of the show at all, she first of all weren't at all enamored or worried or intimidated by the
yeah.
returnees. They were as familiar to her as anybody else.
And she played
And
with them.
she played
easily.
with them because she didn't know by Hoyle you're not supposed to. You know what
She
I'm
could
saying?
just look at them as on face value of what
Yeah,
she
and go,
was
these
seeing
people
and
know
hearing.
the game. Why wouldn't I align
Yeah, you
with
guys
them?
they're
Why
smart.
should I align with these guys that are figuring it out?
Well, I
Mm.
think that it works out.
That's
It doesn't
amazing.
always work out. I mean, we've had other plays. I don't remember who it was last year where they had to Shawnee had to explain what going to rocks meant. you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes you
well-
have a few that are like,
But I think
right
they
on
make
top
the
of it.
exception. I think they're like, this person's so interesting, it doesn't matter. Let's have them
There's
on.
there's people though that play that aren't fans who, like Keely, once she was playing, she was all in. There are other people who they play and they couldn't care less about the history, the legacy, the rules. Even while they're in it,
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
So maybe
doesn't
you
matter.
go. So okay, maybe you look for people who have some sort of skill set. Like maybe you try and find a chess champion. A
find
chess
somebody
player
who's competitive.
who has
yeah.
doesn't know anything about Survivor, but
but it's gonna
plays
try to
chess,
win in
but
any
plays
situation
chess,
they're
right?
in, right?
Because they already play chess at a certain level
Yep.
and have that mind. Or you find some different people like that to kind of pepper in. You know what I mean?
In, yeah.
I think
Right.
that would
I-
be interesting.
I think that is probably a really big challenge for
That's
casting
the kind of
every year.
casting I think would
Mhm.
work. Not the beautiful people. That's just a bonus if they're
A
beautiful,
couple
also.
beautiful people are, like, fine, have them there, but like
Yeah.
as long as they've got something that they're bringing to the game table, please.
I would hope.
you
Yeah.
know. Now let's get into this. Because guys, we've seen over the years, we've seen some pretty great final challenges, but this was like the most
Nobody
emotional.
does a final challenge like AU.
Okay, but
I'm
there was
sorry. I'm sorry.
there's a
I can't
whole
even
level
think
to
of
this
a
one.
U.S. final challenge where I go, "Oh, it was epic."
that you remember
Right.
it so
No.
well. Yeah.
They do these like showdowns, right? They
But
built
this
the
one-
stage in the jungle, and it's just, yeah.
This one was like, I mean, this is the same challenge that we saw
Pretty great.
last year with Miles and AJ and Keely. But watching somebody try, like they're literally like their life depends on it,
Yeah.
Right.
to struggle through that wall of pain. Okay, you know what? There's a lot of things in life that we go through that cause physical pain that you have to try to muscle through. For women who have had children, that's going to be the most logical place for you to think
Sure.
of that.
For men, it's a cold,
For men, a
which is
cold.
the same thing.
But
In our
watching
little
Jackson,
minds.
like
Oh.
hit that pain level, like my brain kept going, ride the wave, just ride the wave. You'll get through it. You can
And he
get past this
did for
wall.
so
Oh my God.
long.
And not only was it just so intense to watch what he was going through, but this is where David, as a host of Survivor, just sealed the deal for me.
Oh,
That man could not have been prouder or more like,
And how
He
he
was
was
so
there to help
the
coach
way
down.
no,
invested
he
in
held
him.
him.
Right.
Like he
When
did.
he finally did, he didn't just help him down. He stood there holding him so his mom could embrace him
Oh my God, it was so emotional.
because
It
he
was
didn't have
so
the strength to stand up and embrace his mom. He held him so.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The fans or the internet can say whatever they want about David. I feel like he really did.
He brought
didn't.
it.
He
He
got
brought
better. He got better as the season progressed.
You know,
for
he did
sure.
exactly what he needed to do because at the
Yep.
beginning we weren't ready for him to stand so forward, right?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
people were watching, and if he had done it too soon, people would. He earned our respect, I think, throughout the season,
Yeah.
knowing what to do, and then the ending,
And
these last couple of
watching,
episodes,
do you guys
proved it.
do you think, like, maybe I like to put these thoughts in, and maybe this isn't really what's going on, but it felt like to me that David recognized, whether it's his personality, his energy, maybe a familiar story, I don't know, but it felt like David took a shine to Jackson, like
Yeah.
he related to him differently.
Yeah,
I also think Game recognizes Game, and he
The
instinctively
showman,
he understood that Jackson was giving everything he had.
Mhm.
yeah,
And and this is always unfair for the bigger people.
mhm.
Because we've
Yes,
talked about
'cause look at Caleb
it
over
before. If you're holding weight, they always adjust it for your size.
But you
But
can't
when you're
adjust
standing
that,
on
yeah.
a peg, the peg is the same if
Yeah.
you're Brooke, who weighs 103 pounds soaking
Yep.
wet, or if you're Lockie, who weighs 240.
Exactly.
And there's just no way that's fair.
And the
was-
first one is 5 centimeters, right? And then they go to 4 centimeters.
They went
and it
from
was,
they went to 50
5, 4, 3?
millimeters to 40
Down to
millimeters
30.
to 30.
millimeters. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same. 5, 4, 5, 4, 3
3 centimeters
centimeters. Yeah, that's
So
how
it's-
metrics
it's-
works. You
would
move
be
the
9
decimal point.
centimeters squared.
But,
Did
so-
you guys literally just watch my brain shut a door and go on vacation while you did numbers?
I don't know, but when I was watching
So
that,
so y'all know
I had to
Jimmy
get my
Joe's not a
ruler
fan of
because
the metric system.
because even though I understand the mathematics of the metric system, I cannot see in my head how big that would be. So I had to go get my ruler and look and and then to think where on your foot could you take that pressure? Now, something I also thought while I was watching this, there are many Eastern medicines that, view
Yeah.
the foot as a place where you can release all kinds of things and toxins, and you can help pain, and you can activate certain parts of your body all through your feet, right? Reflexology.
Release
So
all that cheese. So
what?
Jackson was going through it.
So
Did you see how his eyes changed?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
By the end, he looked drunk. His eyes were bloodshot, like he was gonna pop a blood vessel.
Yeah, he was really going through it. But I wonder, is there one part of the foot that would be best for that? That would be the one that would give you the most endurance.
I wonder if you
don't want to
couldn't
do the
train
one
for
where you
that.
where the blood it be it makes you evacuate. You don't want to hit that spot. That'd be bad, right? Because
Don't want that.
Oh, maybe you
Not if
do,
they're-
because that makes it harder for the person next to you.
There you go.
why
Get
do
to
they care?
struggle a little more.
You're the one that has that all over you. The
Because they're
insects would-
smelling it.
But
It'll
the
waft
insects
over.
would be insane on you, don't you think?
Yeah, but if that fly
Ugh.
flew over to your opponent and landed on them, you could be like, "Sup?"
Oh, that's on you. Ew, it
There's
splashed
a
a
whole
little
other
bit.
level of psychological warfare
Um,
that goes
I don't know,
into that.
but I feel like that's the weird thing that popped in my head during that challenge of what would happen? Is there a good spot or a bad spot? Or
Well,
because he honestly was really going through it.
He was
do you
going
think you
through
could
it.
train yourself to the? Do you think you could like put pegs in your backyard and
Yeah.
pull an Ian and go up on him every
Sure. I
day
mean,
for a
it would
Yes,
couple
still
hours?
sure.
get you would still have a level where you were at the end. But yeah, sure you could.
It's
You could
like,
have an endurance like
wax on, wax off. You
yeah.
figure it out. You just practice in the
Yeah.
backyard.
Well, listen, Danny, while you're painting that fence, we're gonna take a 5-second break here for commercial and we'll be
Okay.
back.
All right.
All right, we're back. Okay, so we are getting through this dang challenge. Now, what do you guys think about Laws asking Caleb for that necklace? Stop down, Caleb. Let me have this. Let me have this, Caleb. I need this. What are
Well,
your thoughts?
it actually broadcast what he ended up doing because
Well, but
he didn't need it to win over her. If he was going to take her because of fire, because of everything, he didn't need it.
no, that's not why he didn't give it to her. It's because when she was so adamant about having it, it made him nervous that she was going to take Jackson instead of him.
Mm-hmm.
If she had not asked him for that necklace, one of them would have won and he would never have gotten freaked out. But when she started going, give it to me, I need it. I need it for my resume. When he was like, I ain't going to help you, girl. He started thinking it was her trying to play him and he got paranoid.
Because if you think this is why it makes me mad. Laws has done this. She did this twice because she did this to Simon when it was her and Simon on the endurance challenge.
Mhm.
If you're in danger, if the signs point that you're in danger, your name's been mentioned, you know that it's
Sure,
you
beg,
or somebody else on the chopping block,
plead,
beg for it.
deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if you want it and your sell is, I need to show people that I can earn this, you didn't though.
Exactly.
You didn't.
Exactly.
You asked for it and somebody gave it to you, but you didn't.
And
you didn't win the challenge.
The two of them had already spoken. All we have to do is one of us has to outlast Jackson. When they both outlasted Jackson, it really didn't matter. Okay. Right. But Caleb started getting squirrely about it, right?
Yeah, he did.
And he didn't, I mean, he thought he could beat her, but she's going to decide who she's taking. Mm-hmm. And can you imagine if he made it to 3 and let her win that and she took a shot, took him out? By all rights, she rode him to the end and then shot the horse. Right?
Do you think
so I think she wins.
Do you think there's any shot she was going to do that?
That's her only way to win.
Jackson got 3 votes over Caleb. He'd have gotten the same 3 votes against Laz, and I think he gets 2 more and wins.
I think if Laz did that, she might have gotten some votes. Without that, no, I don't think she would have had a chance to win.
No, because if her sell at the end was, I worked with him the entire or whatever since was it the reshuffle or was it the
kind of the merge?
Okay. So I
worked
worked him all this time. He trusted me implicitly. I trusted him. We went to rock so that, all of our went to fire. Like we trust each other. I gave him that vote. And then he thought he was dragging me along the whole time because I was going to be an easy vote. He was going to beat the old lady, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Right. And then guess what? I was able to sweet talk him up there and get him to give me his immunity because he felt sorry for me. Like if she owns it like that, and
I think that if Laz,
she wins. I think
if Laz would have had
if
the strategy to do that,
and that's not what was going on. Though.
I think she could have sold a win to Mark by saying, "I see. The thing is, you tried to work with him, and he got you, but I understood him better. I
Yeah.
knew how to work him in my
Oh
favor,
yeah.
and
If she-
I didn't let him get me.
again, and this isn't a perfect world where she says the perfect words,
Right.
right?
But something like that would have had Mark been like,
But
oh
be-
shit, you're
But
right.
because
You
that's a
know?
possibility, Caleb was not wrong in being paranoid.
So
So-
it was nope.
And Caleb has done amazing knowing exactly when
And
he could needs to bob and weave around
I,
danger.
I will note that another moment in that final challenge that I noticed, like in an emotional connection to your people, and why it's kind of important to have them there, is because there was a moment where Caleb was in a lot of pain and she was saying it, and he kind of almost looked like he was considering it.
Mm,
And then his dad piped in,
yes.
don't you do it, keep going. And he did.
And at
I
that
think-
point,
Yeah,
it's like,
that had a little sweep the leg moment to me. It was
Well,
like,
Yeah.
it was like
but he
maybe Dad's a
wasn't
little bit of a
wrong, though,
butthead.
right? No,
What's that?
no, not at all.
No,
I don't think not at all.
I think
You
that
would-
he
you-
was like, don't give this up. You've got
Right.
this. Yeah, like this
Don't-
is yours.
Just encouraging him, right? It's any parent I think would do, right? Like he thought, oh, I'll just give it to her, maybe. But his dad was like, no, like you're here to play this game. Play it. Play to
Yeah.
win.
You know what that was? That
If
was
you
Steve
can
saying.
beat her,
Steve was saying there are no participation trophies in Survivor. That's what Papa Steve was saying.
Yeah, 100%.
He was letting them have it. So, I mean, okay. So now we know who's going to the final tribal. What do you think of all their? I have a little note here on some of their final arguments that I thought were worthy of discussion. We've got first of all, Caleb coming in and to that final tribal, and oh my God, like cutting laws, like shocker moment, right? Like,
Oh my
Crazy.
God.
I never thought that's what was gonna happen.
I honestly think that's the moment he won the game for sure. I mean,
It
I think
was
he
like
wins
he
against
stood
Laz
up-
anyway, but he'll return now because of that move.
because he just stood a little stronger, a little straighter, a little more confident, saying,
I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna take my nemesis.
I
the
did
guy who
not
hates me.
think that he would. I didn't think
I-
he would
I
have
didn't-
it in
so
him to do
confident
it.
I'm gonna beat him too.
I didn't like him all year, but the end when he said, "I'm going to go up against the best player here in my opinion."
He's one of the
and
very
win.
few people who have ever put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah,
when it
Yeah.
comes
I
to,
mean that takes.
I'm going to show you who the winner is, buddy.
That's some.
You
That
know?
takes some jumbo cojones,
Yeah.
and
And he's giving him, if he believes, regardless, he's okay. I think Caleb believed he could win against either of them.
Yeah. I don't.
but
I
in
do
that
believe
moment-
that he didn't think he could win against Laws because Laws saved him. I think that was a big part of it because he kept saying, "I wouldn't be here without you," and I think he
Oh,
knows what
okay.
that means.
Okay. I don't think that would have. I don't think that would have lost it for him against her, though. You know what I mean? In the jury's eyes,
I
she
don't
can
think
make that
so
argument,
either,
but I
but-
think they would have been like, okay.
no, I think he wins that jury 8-1.
Yeah.
against
Yeah,
Laz.
for sure.
Even if she wins the challenge.
Well, and I think that's part of the thing. When you say that, when you cut your ally there and you see the jury's face, I don't
Oh my
think
gosh,
the jury
Jackson's
was like,
face.
I don't think that the jury was like, oh my God, you cut your alliance member. It was like, oh, holy shit, dude, we were ready to give you this.
And you might lose now, right?
Like, whoa, wow. Okay,
I-
this is way more fun for us.
I will say, I think both guys had reasons to be proud. You know,
Yes.
Jackson's. Oh, I know. I was going to say that in that moment, it wasn't what I think he was confident he was going to beat either one of them. He was literally deciding he was going to get second place in the bigger cash pot, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Which might be kind of a dickish move to do to a mom, single mom with 2 kids that he just met. Like, I
That's
don't know what the
true.
difference is between
That's
second and
true.
third place.
Yeah, but
Is that
he went from being a winner that we would have been, like,
Eh,
to a winner who will be
100%.
brought back because of
100%.
what he did.
Oh yeah, he gave the people what they wanted. And you know what? I'm gonna say it right now, Caleb. You're squirrely, you're fun. I think what you do now is you take this, you two, and you team up, and now you're gonna wrestle together. Either you tag
Oh
team
my
wrestle
God,
together,
right?
or you do some sort of shenanigans where you're like his hype man, and Jackson wrestles, and you're over there talking smack. You're like his
Well,
manager.
And then you
it's
get
already
involved, yeah.
happened. It's already happened. And it took me to remember what it was that Jackson was struggling with and who he was and what he does for a living to realize he and Caleb are a match made in heaven because it's his
Yeah.
heel. Caleb is his heel.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like this is a
Well,
this
they
is
can
a
go-
perfect situation for
I
somebody
mean, he
whose
needs to
job
train
is
a little
this.
bit and get some meat back on his bones because he got very
He
skinny.
will break. He will break.
Yeah,
so
because
fast.
he's pretty skinny right now. But like honestly, that would be wouldn't that be? And you don't think people in Australia would want to go see that?
Oh, I would.
Come on.
I mean,
That'd be
seriously.
fun. That'd
Well,
be
let's
fun.
talk about some of the highlights
sorry.
on their final speeches here.
Their arguments. Yeah.
Yes, and I really, really enjoyed the back and forth on this because it really did feel for like a minute like, oh, Jackson's kind of creaming Caleb.
I
on the
felt
resume.
like with the initial speeches, like Jackson was 75% likely
yes.
to win.
Yeah, it's
And
this was really great. Like one, Jackson claims cutting Harry as his move. He has some ownership in the Harry move, right? And then he talks about Ben. And I thought it was a great defense where he said, I got rid of one shield for 3 bigger shields.
Right.
That's
And,
It's
and
like
of
Ben,
course,
there's not
and,
personal,
he,
Ben.
and he solidified Ben's vote right there.
And then
Yes.
oh dang, that
and
makes
got
sense.
his got his loyalty back.
Why didn't I think of that?
Why
He's
didn't I
like,
see
that's
that?
what I'm thinking.
And then
Just
this
you
was
talk
so
too much,
cute
dude.
because this was the wrestling character coming out where he says that he was the biggest beast in Beauty and the Beast and the only one who was in Club Kaput that didn't go kaput. You know,
Yeah.
I was like,
And
that's
you
a
saw
good job.
Brooke
Bring your tie in.
smile, right?
Yep.
Brooke
Bring
smiled
them
and
in.
Keely
Make them feel
smiled.
like
and
they're involved. You
like
know,
they're part of
and-
his journey, right?
Yep, it was really good. But then Caleb comes in, and I will say, Caleb was struggling a little bit, but then Mark.
Right. And
Yes.
and I have some thoughts on that because Mark essentially became a player. And I've never seen a player take over a tribal like that.
Well, he is a diplomat after all.
Agreed.
Right. But
Well,
the point of the
also-
matter is that doesn't happen in the US because they like can only ask a question and they don't really engage. But
Not anymore. I mean,
Right.
you used to see a lot more of it, but now they only
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 of them really get to say much of anything.
right,
know
but
what?
it was almost like Mark was his advocate.
Well,
Right.
because
And-
you want the person who cut you to be the winner.
Well, no,
Okay,
I understand.
There we
I
go.
understand
That's
from
the
an
thing.
ego perspective why
don't
you wanted
mind-
that. Sure.
I don't mind Mark making the arguments because of things that he saw that Caleb should win or that Caleb did that maybe he's not. Because you know what? Because if Mark does it for Caleb, anybody else can do it for Jackson too, right? That's fair. Okay, fine. It was the motivation of why Mark did it.
Mhm.
It Mark's ego has
Mhm.
to believe
I
he was
had the winner
only
put me out.
beaten
Right.
by the winner. And that's why Mark did it.
Yeah.
Because they said along, you kept thinking you could control this kid. You kept thinking, and then he voted you out. And Mark was like, oh, yeah.
And he asks, like, his actual question
God.
to Caleb is,
Was about
you
him.
explain to me how you manipulated me.
Yes, yes. Because he knew that that would impress. He knew what he was going to say, don't you
Mhm.
think?
Mm-hmm.
And he was helping Caleb by setting up the question. I was like, you know, a softball
Yeah.
question that
I
Caleb was
think
going to
it
shoot out of
was
the park.
I think it was too much involvement by the jury. By a
It
single
didn't,
jury
I
member.
mean, I guess I could, but I didn't watching it didn't stir me as like bothering me at all. It was more like gamer sees a gamer and is pointing it out, because the thing is like, if you go back to Kyle's season on US Survivor, Camilla is the one who directed everybody over to Kyle actually getting that win by saying, no,
Yeah,
this is what he did.
true.
D.
Yeah.
If you have somebody, especially if it's somebody you cut, but they're advocating for you on the jury, that
But
moves
here- but-
mountains.
but the thing for that is that feels gross is that like Mark, we would have much rather you had got here. Why didn't you cut him? Like a little too late now, bud. Like you know what I mean? That he's kind
Well,
of putting
Mark
his
is
finger on the
always,
scale.
as
you
much
know, a
as I
little bit.
like Mark, there's
Ugh.
always a little bit of like control and ego
I mean, if he
on
had made
deck.
it to the good, but like, don't be helping this kid out. He didn't even cut you at 5. Like, you've been out for a long time. Do you
Yes, you've
really
been
know
there
what's
for a
going on?
minute. You've been there for a
I
little
don't know.
while.
No,
But
it
I
was
do
purely his ego
also,
motivating him to fight for him.
I clapped my hands together in joy and vindication, which is like they want redemption, and Christy and I are always on the search for vindication.
Yes, but Mark
But
forever
he says,
after. Oh,
"Oh,
sorry.
go ahead, finish what you're saying."
Mark forever after is going to when people say, "Oh, well, you didn't do so well. Whatever you were voted out at merge jury, whatever." He's going to
Winner took
say,
me out.
"But no, it's going to be worse than that." He's going to go, "Oh, he only learned how to play the game from me because we were playing together. He
He
learned from the
might.
best."
He might
And
very
then
well.
and then his win is also Mark's win now, kind
Whatever
of.
makes him sleep at night.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Mark is feeling, and
He ain't
that's the
getting
part
any of that cash, though. I can
that's
tell
kind
you
of
that
gross.
Caleb isn't sending him a check.
He doesn't need it. He's got
But I
pockets
do,
and pockets of cash.
I do very much love that when Caleb sits down and it's his turn to defend his game. I love that he said the chaos was a little bit of a front because everyone severely underestimated me. And I love that he said that because that's what I've been saying about
Mhm.
him. Like,
No,
he's
we
so
can see it.
underestimated. He's
no, we
moving.
saw
He's
that.
just, his moves are loud. They're very
He was
quiet.
from
But
the
he's
first
chaotic
episode.
and loud.
Right. From the first episode, he was one that I was watching. I was like, I kind of like that kid. I kind of like that kid. Jackson also. And I'm glad that glimmer was there that could come to fruition, that he was fun to watch. And I'm glad he
Yeah,
was able
yeah,
to
he
lay
was.
low and not spout off too early like a Jackson.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, Johnson. Sorry, not
Oh,
Jackson.
Johnson
Sorry,
and
I'm sorry.
Don and
Johnson.
Johnson.
Johnson was a bit of a
was-
Johnson, let's be honest.
Right. But you know what I mean? He got in there and he was an early player that left early because he
Yes.
just started. He was kind of chaotic and stuff, but it was too soon.
Too damn
And
soon, buddy.
I don't know. And Caleb was able to not do that. So good for him.
And going back to Mark for just a second, the only vote I actually think that Mark moved was Cameron. Because I don't think Cameron's ever had an original thought in his life. I think he goes
Right.
he goes wherever.
Because
Oh,
Jackson
Cameron.
said something, or when Jackson and Cameron's interaction seemed very positive for Jackson, right?
Well,
Right.
yes, but
something
Jackson
earlier.
had the downfall. Ooh, you know what I'm
And
talking
then
about? How
Mark,
many?
I think, yeah, you're right. I think Mark swayed him
He might have on him.
because
But do you
Cameron
know
didn't
how
have his
many?
glasses on.
You know how we were talking about like how many similarities that like the last season-ish of US Survivor and current Survivor, like there's these little weird things that are happening in both AU and US.
Oh,
We're
yes,
like,
yeah.
that's weird that both
Yeah.
just happened, almost back to back on opposite ends of the earth. But one of the things is this jury conversation where Jackson was asked, can you tell me anything about me?
But nobody asked
Oh, I
Caleb.
hate
No one
that.
asked Caleb that question. So it's
But-
almost unfair.
But
No, I don't like
Caleb,
that. I don't
but
like that
but Caleb
question.
probably could have, because Caleb said, I literally tried to learn what I could about everybody to see if we had anything in common and just build from that. But
Yeah.
Jackson didn't cower away from that though, or try to make an excuse. And I thought that was really interesting. Where he's like, you're right, I really kind of only focused on like 5 people.
Because you weren't going to win.
And honestly,
Right?
was that? Oh, you knew who that was.
Blanche.
That was
It's
Blanche.
Blanche.
Blanche, come on,
Come on,
girl.
Blanche. Come on,
But when
Blanche.
she said that, I seemed kind of like bitter Betty a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, so he didn't want to talk to you. Maybe he didn't think he had anything in common with you. Do you know anything about him?
I was.
Because it goes both ways.
I have to say I was surprised at Keely's vote. I
you?
thought Keely would support, well, because both Simon and Brooke did. So
But Keely's a much more like analytical, logical thinker.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Keely said, I'm going to
Those other
vote
two are
whoever
wicked
played the
smart
best
too.
game. Yeah. Like,
But Keely has that weight of like, this is, she takes the emotions away.
but she
from it.
she and Ben were the only two who don't vote with their alliance.
Ben doesn't surprise me either, just because of Ben.
Right. Ben voted for who he wanted to vote for.
Right,
And so did Keely.
right.
The rest of them voted for who they were aligned with in the game.
Mm.
It shows you that people that you
And-
know better tend to have a higher standing in your
And it
head,
wasn't
probably.
a blowout. It was
And I
fine.
loved that. I loved that
know?
so much.
Because
I
you go
liked
like, okay, who played? Like, oh, that baloney that up until the very end, Caleb was calling himself an underdog, right? Dude, when you're running the like
When it's 5-3, you're not the
Right.
underdog.
You're not the underdog anymore. And so
you need a new
and
name tag.
And I get that that's kind of probably comes more from his actual life, but Jackson probably feels that same way.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to take. I feel like that too, dude. Like,
Yep.
they could really bond over that. I feel like.
I think
But
they kind of did.
Yeah, but Jackson was literally, once Keely was gone, he was the underdog.
Yeah, he was the odd man out over and over again.
And he made it past the next two ladies, and I really did not think he was going to. So well done on him.
Now I want to play. I want to shift
I-
off of there because I want to play just a quick little game, because we always ask. I don't even remember who the first person voted off was, or oh my god, that was so long ago.
Okay.
So what I would like to do is go through the list, because we want to know if we know people, right? So
Okay.
here's the list of the cast, and I want to see if you guys can tell me anything about them other
Mhm.
than their game moves, about them.
Okay.
Okay, because some of them you're not even going to remember who they are.
Okay.
Okay, first one, Richard.
Pastor.
No,
he's not
Richard.
the pastor. He's
Richard
the
had
business
the
owner.
Richard had the jacket. He's some sort of CEO,
CEO,
businessman. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
very good. CEO. And he can speak Thai.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, Jackson, of course, we know.
The wrestler.
That's a no-brainer.
Great mullet, dude.
Once mom's love, real bad.
Cameron. What does Cameron do?
Whatever anyone else wants him to do.
Hold on a second.
Literally.
Didn't Cameron, we got to see his folks, didn't we, on a video?
Yeah.
Okay. Cameron's got
Cameron.
brother and sister, and he's kind of like, he looks like he feels like he's like the black sheep. But
He talks a lot too.
Yeah, he does.
Well, Cameron is an MMA fighter.
That's right, MMA. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then we have Daniel.
Daniel was the preacher or youth pastor.
He's the pastor. Yep. What about Lottie?
Lottie, I liked
angry and
Lottie.
mean.
You liked Lottie.
I did not like Lottie.
No, Jamie did.
I know.
Lottie had pigtails.
Lottie is a well-received artist.
Oh, that's right. Well, no.
And Lottie also looks a little bit like Keely. So it's easy to get them confused in beach mode.
I thought they did too.
They have a
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah. They have a vibe.
Yeah, like at the beginning when you didn't know the players, I was like,
Right.
Like sweet.
I kept
plain-
thinking,
not
I kept
plain
I
Jane
kept
per
not
se, but
liking Keely because I didn't like Lottie.
Girl Next Door, maybe. I don't know.
Now, what about Asha? What does Asha do?
Asha was one of my winners picks.
Yeah. She underestimates other players, thinks she's smarter than them. And
That is true.
she is some sort of aid worker with does she work with the Aboriginal people? She an
No,
aid worker?
Asha is a model, and she does fundraising for special needs campaigns.
Okay, I knew she did some sort of charity thing. Okay,
There
sorry.
was a player.
Ben is the one that works with the Aborigine people.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
Asha
Okay, we'll
is
get
a
there.
Or
player
he's
I
like
thought had
or
so
like some
much
sort of
potential.
group. Who?
Oh,
Yeah.
the Asha.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
here's
really
one.
did.
Here's one you might not remember very well. Paula. Do you remember Paula? Because
Yes.
Paula
Yeah,
was
she was
pretty
pretty.
early out.
She was pretty.
Paula was the one that Mark did not like. She had to go.
Paula was
Right,
is
because she
Hold
was
on, hold
she
on,
was
she-
teamed up with Lottie,
Yeah, and
and she's
she
blonde, and
was
there was a lot of blondes.
yeah, but she's
a
blonde, she's cute, she's skinny.
Little fancy.
don't distract
fancy
me
look.
with that. Uh she's probably like a marketing person or something.
Well, Paula is a vet nurse
Oh, a vet nurse. Okay.
and a card dealer champion.
A
I
what?
just want to become a champion
Card
card
dealer
dealer.
champion.
A
You know the
champion
people
of
that like deal the cards and they do all the
How do they
crazy
win?
cool things.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
there's
wait,
probably
wait,
a competition.
Hold
There's
on a
probably
second.
worldwide
Hold on a
competition.
second. This whole time I thought that the dealer wasn't allowed to play at they've been playing this whole
play
time.
Own
Oh
game.
my gosh.
Okay, how
Jeez.
about Eliza? Oh, Eliza. I'll be honest, I totally forgot about the Eliza and Jackson thing that like kind of was right at the beginning of the game. And if you recall, she lost her relationship with Faith because she woke her up in the middle of the night. Remember that whole thing?
Oh yes,
was,
yes,
was
yes.
she has her she's a fashion designer. She has
She's
her
a
clothing
writer?
line. Oh, that's right, a writer
And a
Was she-
historian.
and a historian.
Was she a
Maybe she
paperback
writes a-
writer?
She should read. I hope she writes like historical fiction or something. That'd be fun.
Okay,
check
what
her out.
about Laws?
She has 2 daughters.
She's a
And-
single mom, and I don't think she has a job.
Yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom and she lives in the bush. So I guess that probably means that like a
Oh
homesteader
God,
type thing.
there's so many lives in the bush jokes to be made.
I know. I felt like you were gonna wander down that path.
Yeah.
I kind of knew.
Stay out of
First
there.
I thought
Stay
of-
out of
now
there, David. Jeez.
Lyndall. What about Lyndall?
Lyndall.
Her name should be a reminder for you of what Lyndall does.
Well, she's probably a model.
Well, Lyndall is a model, but she's also a poker player that goes by the name Swindle.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm glad I don't
And-
remember.
I mean, like now, this next person I'm going to mention, we know he's really good at a lot of things, but what does he
Oh, Don.
actually do? Don.
Don does construction work, builds houses.
No, something with country.
Contractor. Oh, he's a singer. He's a
Yes.
country
Is he a
western
singer?
and
Yes.
the brother of a footballer.
Matt
Champion footballer. Yeah,
Rogers.
Matt Rogers, well known.
Matty Rogers. Okay,
footy
and
player.
then Ben.
Right? He does works. It's like it sounded like some sort of
Yeah,
organization.
we talked about this. It was an
right?
indigenous thing, right?
No,
Right?
no.
Yes.
Ben's job is a talent lead for AFL.
I swear I saw that.
And then he was out
David,
because
how
of
the hell-
injury.
How the hell did you and I remember the same fact about
Well,
the same person?
maybe he does that too. But that's
Maybe
not
that
what
we
his
read
job
that
is.
somewhere. Anyway, yeah. Something.
All
about-
right.
Or maybe he is indigenous. You know what I'm saying?
I believe he
Yeah.
believe he is so he works it's like he's involved
right.
somehow
And what
in the
does
community.
what does Caleb do?
He's a truck driver.
And what else does he do? Because I forgot about this, but it makes me like him all over again.
Well, that wouldn't be a rapper then.
Thank God.
Jax.
He does a
Caleb
lot of
is-
he does charity work for animals.
Oh, does he?
Oh, see, now I want to like him.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, I'm sticking with disliking him.
No, he's likable.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Johnson?
Oh, he was a big player, Big Brother Australia player who did not win, but like came in second or something.
He was Big Brother, and he's also an engineer and a podcaster.
and oh yeah,
And a bit of a Johnson, if I might say so.
just a little. You know
Little
what?
bit
It
of
is.
a Johnson. You know what?
has-
Because he has, you know what vibe he has? Friendship.
Okay,
He's
first
got
of
some
all,
Paul vibe to
Yeah.
him.
I don't
Okay,
think
I'm
he had
going with
Paul
that.
vibes. You thought he had Paul vibes? No, I
Yeah,
thought
because you still are a defender of Paul.
whatever. I think it was
I'm
more.
not.
It was more. What's his name? Meatball in Vegas. He was more that guy.
Josh.
He's more Josh to me because he didn't have self-awareness. He
That's true.
really like came out of the gate much as his name would indicate, came out of the gate way too hot, way too fast.
He
Shot his
did.
wad.
He was hungry for it.
way too hard, if you
Right.
will.
way too fast. Shot his
His
wad
balls
and
hadn't
his
even
game was
dropped
over.
yet.
He even got to touch any balls in those competitions. So
All right.
All right, Jensen, we love you. No, we don't, but
But it's okay. We could.
No,
could
I
cross
just
I
it.
think
like you
that
better on Big Brother. I will tell you.
he gunned it too quick.
A little bit
He
too quick.
gunned it too quick.
Now,
That was
what about
really ready.
Tez?
I'm sure he would. Who?
Tez.
Oh,
He is an
Tez, oh,
aspiring,
bless his
aspiring lawyer.
Yeah, he's in law school.
Yeah, law school
Yeah.
student. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
reminds
Sally.
he reminds me of the actor that plays Armand on the something about him. He's like very petite looking and Tez. He reminds
Little
me of
Tez.
anyways.
And then
So-
what does Sally do?
Sally is a professional tattoo artist,
No.
but she should be.
She
Just
is
because she has tattoos, she might
She-
suck at him.
she
They
has
might be
a-
terrible tattoos if she tried.
I don't know.
So I mean, a lot of people, it's like a hairstylist, David. You go into a hair and you go, oh, I really like that person's hair. Well, somebody else cut it, so don't think they're gonna make your hair look like theirs.
saying, yeah, that's really bad.
It's a fool's game. Don't trust
And
the
people have
tattoo
different
artist's
kinda hair.
tattoos.
Right.
Trust their portfolio. But she doesn't even do tattoos. That's not even her profession. So definitely don't trust
She
tattoos.
is involved in
You're gonna love it.
I don't know what. I have no idea.
She is a
Bikini
creative
model.
writer who
Oh.
also raises cactus.
Cacti, as it were.
I love that
What?
that's on her.
okay.
Her
Does
bio.
one have to raise cacti? Can't you just they just
I
go, don't they?
maybe.
You don't even have to water them.
They might have like a really rough adolescence. I don't know.
I don't think people raise cacti as much as they abandon them. I mean, come on. Anyway,
All right. Now
ignore them.
what about Faith?
I know
Well,
you
she's
got
a
to have
punk,
it.
she's a punk rock singer.
Mm-hmm. She is a self-owned caterer. She runs a catering business, and she's also a skater.
Right.
How about
Skateboarding is
Kat?
not a crime.
Do you remember Kat?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, cat.
Kat.
Psychiatrist.
She was a waitress.
Kat was on New Zealand Traders.
Oh
Now you
my
remember her.
God.
I call back, right?
Oh my, that feels like a year
Did
ago.
you just age? Like, did you
Oh
travel
my
through
God,
time
that
a
was the
year?
one. None of them did it to me. That's the one.
That's the
Because I
one.
remember Daniel, but she seemed, oh my goodness. That seems like last season. That seems so long ago.
Forever ago. And now
Well-
Blanche, what does Blanche do for a living?
Oh, she's a needle person. She sticks needles in people.
Yes, she's an
Acupuncturist.
acupuncture, and she's also a gym owner.
Would you? I don't know if I'd let Blanche stick me with needles.
She could. She just
If she
has to
liked
put her
me, I'd be
goddamn
I'd-
glasses on before she does it.
Yeah, you're for sure.
Yeah.
And then,
Where's
of
your
course,
glasses?
Keely. We know that Keely does fraud prevention.
I mean, she
So-
has the coolest job. Let's be
Well,
honest.
that was fun. See how much we forget about
That
people?
was
It's kind of nice to
fun.
have a little reminder
Ah.
of what they do. Now, we can do this really, really quick.
Mhm.
We got such a treat at the end of this. He's going to count the votes. Guess what, suckers?
Okay,
We're
so-
not going to reveal
Okay, hold
it
on a
yet.
second. Before that happened, I literally had thought, like about, I don't know, 20 seconds before they actually did it, like, Oh, you know what? That'd be funny if Australia did something that really took on an American thing and did
Yeah,
like one
yeah.
of Jeff's like whatever. And then when they said it, I was like, oh my God, he's
He
gonna jump
even
on
did
it.
the walk out and walk on
Yes,
thing
I
like
was
Jeff
like,
used to
And
please.
do.
so, like,
And
what?
in my
Well,
head,
how's he gonna get there? By
no, in my
helicopter?
head,
By
I immediately was like, please make it a jet ski. That would be so great. The jet ski one was my favorite. But that's not what they do. Like he threw that gauntlet so freaking hard at the
Yep.
propster. Like
Yes.
Jeff did a lot of things that he thought were cool. That nothing was this cool.
He never got on a motorcycle with a sparkly helmet in the middle of midnight city time and go to
And-
Sydney.
And went across the bridge, like weaving in and out of traffic, revving it.
Like a survivor
I
vampire.
think this was the moment where I feel like every woman of a certain age watching Survivor became pregnant. That was
Yep,
it right
yep,
there.
Yeah, it was a well, hello. Well, hello.
Well, we finally reached it.
The sparkle.
You got right. Wait, you got some space on the back of that thing?
Yeah, let's go for a ride.
I'll
I'll count your votes.
It was so cheesy, but
It was great.
so delicious. And
Yeah.
you know what we do because of dear Mr. Cumming, we really do like a cheesy.
We
host.
do, yeah.
So I really like that David can kind of take the piss out of himself a little bit and be cheesy and fun.
Well,
like
and
it was.
I just like that he took a little bit threw a forearm at Probst, which I think
yeah,
is
Yes.
yeah, it was great. It was so good. Yeah. I
It
really
was-
enjoyed it. It was such a great
The-
callback to
and
such an
online,
amazing era of television.
the fans
and-
loved it online.
And do you know when?
too,
And do you
mostly.
know when they filmed it? The final episode, Sunday.
that when we did when we last recorded?
No, it was
No?
Sunday. It was Sunday, the day the first episode aired that
Mm.
night, but it was before that. And so all the Australian Survivor groups were like, anybody who's going, if you spoil, you're out.
When we were recording last week, somebody jumped on and said they were leaving right then to go to the
was it
finale.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
on
wow.
Thursday.
All right.
She
well,
said
yeah.
she knew Blanche. Or
Yeah.
no, sorry, she
You're
knew.
right.
Did she
You're
know
right.
Blanche or
I
Lot?
stand,
It was
I
Blanche.
stand, I stand
And
corrected.
then
Yes.
was popping out. So it was they had to keep it for quite a while. Good for them.
That's a tough secret. 'cause,
I'm
you
sure
know,
it was
with so
out.
many
I'm
people.
sure it was out there if you wanted it.
maybe. Yeah,
Probably.
maybe
But
so.
it was so fun.
I loved having a
honestly,
live reunion. And everybody
loved
was
it.
like super cheesy and hamming it up for the crowd, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, everybody's like they're rested, they're
Yeah.
fed, they're no that's a distant memory.
Can
Now
we?
Who
they're
was
at the
that? Who
point
was?
where how fun it is to get back together and remember this time that was horrible. Not right there at that moment when there was a
Right.
lot of feelings.
Yeah.
So
Can
yeah.
can we give a shout out to Miss Keeley all cleaned up? She
Wow,
looked
blah, blah, blah.
gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang. I was like,
Yeah.
girl, you are
She's
like
gonna-
look at you.
I think she's gonna commit some fraud. That's what's gonna happen.
Sounds fun, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to see all that. And then we get some very interesting news.
Yes,
That
Malaysia.
the next season is going to be filmed in Malaysia.
Okay. What in the hee-haw is going on? Because
Yet
the last-
another shot at Probst will change
Well,
locations.
I kind of wonder if there isn't some like contract negotiations to get out of Samoa and then have a place that they stay in Malaysia. Maybe we'll see after next season if they go somewhere else or if they
Yeah.
stay in Malaysia again.
Well,
But-
I don't know. It could be honestly, guys, it could be geopolitical as well. So
Yeah,
there's
that's
things
true.
going
That's
on.
true.
We don't know. That's not,
yeah,
Yeah.
we're not up on Samoan politics.
We're not.
so-
Yeah, we're not
Oh no,
privy
but I'm
to
just
all
saying
of that.
maybe Malaysia's that farther away from problems or closer
Or
to
there's a different price tag, or you
like
know.
whatever. It could be
Yeah.
safe. It could be safer there, maybe. I don't know.
Or if we're
But-
talking about swapping, because wasn't there like a lot of talk about swapping channels?
Yeah, and
Well,
whether
the
or not
contract they had-
there would be any shot of it getting renewed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did
there's
say
that.
that would be because they announced that, so
Yep.
we know they're planning it.
Now,
But I wasn't it that Jonathan's contract came up. They were able to get rid of him, but that they only had it for 2 more seasons. So people had speculated that perhaps David was going to be that
Right.
bridge gap for those 2 seasons. But it seems unusual that they would then change locations to Malaysia for 1 year.
That is different. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm very
Because-
curious
I
to
think
know what the
Australia
information is
versus
there.
the world counted as one of those.
Well, here's the thing though. Now I'm glad that you mentioned that because we did talk just briefly last week about how it was released that they were going to immediately start filming another season to do a back-to-back. But because of the ratings this year not being where they wanted them and required them to be, they cut it and they decided not to do it. That would have been in Australia versus the world 2. They were going to do a
What?
second versus
Well,
the world.
Who
Were
would
they
have gone
made-
out
were they
for
made
this,
the
this one?
I don't know.
Okay, then they have that in their pocket. They can still do that. They can
Well,
at any point.
Were they made
Because
the
that was a
mistake-
very popular thing. They could do it
Mhm.
again maybe next year. So do it simultaneously
Yeah.
after that.
Where
Yeah.
they made the mistake with Australia versus the world is that should have been released on Paramount Plus in the US.
100%.
It should have. I mean, it would have
Right.
been a huge
Market
audience. I'm
it.
sure Probst won't allow it, and that's why
Sure.
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But the other good thing of not to have that
or
Australia versus world
Burnett
2
wouldn't allow it.
not having the Australian versus world part 2 right now is better because now because they're airing 50 right now. Some of those people might be done and might be able to go over there and play again.
Might be able to
That
go
could
there.
be
If
the
it-
real
if-
reason is they wanted
if
some
they
of those
do it
players.
It's
next
logical,
year.
honestly.
If you want to pull some good American players based on how they, the fans receive them this season,
Okay,
Yep.
it might help. So
Maybe
Guys,
this is
here,
how
where's my- where's-
Sesternino gets his second chance.
okay. So if you want to think about a conspiracy theory, maybe that's why Boston Rob didn't play because he was already under contract in Australia, and Jeff was pissed.
I hope so. I hope that's the reason.
That sounds really media like it.
That seems really great. And I like the idea of Boston being on there because he and David both played Deal or No Deal Island.
Yes, that's right.
So
Oh my
there would
God,
be a
yeah.
little kind of
a little
shared thing there.
snarky, a
Yeah.
little snarky commentary back
Yeah.
and forth. You bet. Well, guys, I mean, I think is there anything else that we
Okay,
haven't
I
Well, I
just
mean,
wanna
talked
say-
are we
okay.
getting ready for final thought check? Chrissy,
Okay,
Chrissy,
I
go
have
ahead.
a thought. We started the beginning of the season, and after so many great seasons of AU Survivor, I'm like, we're never disappointed. Last year was fantastic. Versus World was after every season. Before that was fun. Every season's been great. This season started, and I remember about 20% the way in, or 25% the way in. That's what she said. We were saying that perhaps this season was going to be dull. It was going to be boring. We weren't really vibing with anyone. We liked the 4 returning players, and I have to say that in the end, I thought that it was going to suck after the returning players were gone, and it didn't. And so I'm really glad. This is again one of those things. Trust, Christy. Trust the Survivor gods. It's going to be good, and it was. And I'm happy for that.
It was really
Even
good.
if none of
It's-
all
it's-
our winners were out.
It's
long enough.
amazing. It's amazing how Australia will do that. I mean, I think back to the first season, the first of the new era seasons, which is season 3 for a lot of people, but and that was it Christy who won, and she came out of nowhere to win that at the
You
final
didn't even know you were
tribal.
supposed to.
You
to
didn't
be
even know.
rooting
I
for.
mean, and that to me is still one of the most epic finals because I think it went on like 16 hours.
Yeah.
And there's something to these final tribals. This one went on 4 hours and 7 minutes, and I could just see Jeff at the beginning going, "No, I don't want to stand there that long. Let's do something so it ends faster."
Or Burnett. He has bosses.
Every
He's got
time?
bosses,
If he's the
David.
executive producer, he makes most of the
He's
decisions.
got bosses. I mean,
Oh.
we could get into the politics of Paramount, but we will not.
I'm just saying that
But
4
it
hours
loses,
and 7 minutes is it's
Uh,
really a human story at that point.
and as much as as much as there are very big fans who really loved it, who will say it almost went too far.
I
because
didn't I say that to you, Jamie?
I
It's the
think you
first
might have
time
been one
watching
of them. Yeah,
Survivor where
almost.
I went, ooh, I don't know. Like I thought they were gonna have medical was gonna pull Jackson off. That's
Mhm.
I mean,
Oh,
'cause
did you really?
David looks so freaking concerned. He's standing
no.
right there, like waiting for him to collapse. And I thought for sure
He
he was
was
gonna
just
call
there
medical.
in case he did. but he kept recovering, and Jackson was like telling him, "No, no,
No, but I understand. But at some point, medical would step in and say,
why,
no.
why? He's not dying.
They don't want him-
Why would
well,
they step
they
in
just-
and stop the challenge? I don't think they
But
would.
did you
I think you're wrong.
die?
No,
Did
no,
you
no, no.
die?
Seriously, you're in a tremendous amount of pain, but it's not like we have to pull you because this could be long-term damage to your body. That's not going to happen. It's extremely painful because it's a very
I don't
tender
know.
part of your body, and he had all that weight.
Christy,
but I don't think they would.
Logically, you're correct. In
Because
the
if he
emotion,
passes out,
in
he
the
falls
emotion
down,
of the moment,
over.
watching it,
Oh, okay.
I
All right. Okay.
really felt like medical
Sucker.
somebody should stop this fight. Somebody
You
should
guys-
throw the white towel into the corner.
I loved why he was such.
Yeah.
He was such.
It was great television and
it was
super
like-
dramatic, but
and like 1,000% part from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
just. He was all in.
so and we miss those things when you do
So
not.
That's
give-
why he'll be back.
May
right
may
there.
I
There's-
ask this? May I ask this question to both of you?
Yeah.
If Jackson perseveres and wins, he wins.
Wow, 100%. I
Yeah,
think so. I think
Yeah.
he does.
yeah, I think so too. Especially
And I
that,
think he knew
even
it.
that one.
Because there's no way that they don't show up at tribal and David doesn't talk about what they witnessed at that
Right.
stuff.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes,
honestly, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Now I do have a little bit. I am kind of a little suspicious by nature of people sometimes, but
We know.
I'm gonna tell you, there was a moment where I thought, "Is he faking this to psych them out?" Because
pretty
wouldn't
good,
that have
actually.
been amazing?
That'd be pretty good. Yeah.
Because in other things that they've done, Caleb's been kind of obnoxious and like distracting and kind of a jerk, right?
This goes
And
into that whole wrestling.
He kind
bit,
of
yeah.
was. He kind of was during this too, with the whistling.
So that's why I
and
thought
the-
like it would almost be just rewards.
Oh,
that
I
if-
kind
if-
of loved the whistling. I was like, ooh, that's bringing some
Yes,
ambiance.
but also to make them think that he's struggling
Easy
so
breezy,
bad
yeah.
makes them put their walls down like,
Yeah.
oh, we got this, we got this, we got this. And then one of them screws up during a transition or something. Do you know what I
But
mean?
he worked.
Oh,
he
about it.
was a real.
No, he was not
villain.
faking it. But in my
He was a
brain,
real.
there's another alternate reality, another timeline where that's what happened.
Well, I think that one, it brings
Chef's kiss.
something to the table for entertainment. It brings something for the viewers to
And I'm
see.
going to plan it to the universe that
But-
somebody should do that some year when they're playing this game.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
good. Keep it in your pocket. But I also say it's something special to give the people that have played the game this one final opportunity to push all of their boundaries and see how far they can go.
It
Uh,
is really how much you want it.
And I gotta
Because-
say, Laz impressed me in this.
Oh yeah, I mean, and staying up there at any amount. Ooh.
I
Guys, I can't stand.
at her
I can't
age,
stand on
stay
like
up that
flat
long.
ground for 4 hours. I'd be like, oh, I've been standing for 4 hours. Lord, help me out of here. But
Yeah.
on these pegs,
Yeah.
she did
But
give
I
birth to
feel
twins,
like-
though. I'm just
Okay,
saying, lady did
also,
have
there's
twins.
there's another factor. Yeah, not only that pain, but how many ladies have worn uncomfortable shoes because they were cute.
Yeah, that
Just
does
gonna
hurt
say
like
it. That's
hell.
not a
Pretty
thing that
much
guys
all.
do.
Yep.
That's not a thing that guys do. And
It gives
so
you a wiggle and a scoot.
painful feet. Are you kidding me? We don't know what her prior life was about. She could have been a ballet dancer at some point. Painful feet is part of the
She's
job.
got it.
It's about
Well,
being.
I
yeah.
think overall, I agree with you on the seasons. I think that is something that really happens with Australia. And honestly, I think it is just due to the length of the season. that it
Eventually
it's
something's
slow,
gonna be.
and then merge comes, and then the game really actually starts
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah, whereas in US when the
It's
game
go, go, go right now.
right, no, but when you get to like 6, the game feels over to me.
It
in the
does.
US.
Yeah.
Like it's a
No,
foregone conclusion. We know what's going to
Australia's-
happen.
Australia's almost, because it's such a longer game, like prior to merge, it's kind of more like Big Brother. It's
Yes.
more social.
I agree.
You know
There's-
what I mean? So you kind of get that element where, oh, they're making me crazy, or I can't get rid of this person. I hate them. We haven't been to tribal, and we want to throw a game so that we can vote someone out. right? But
Yep.
then once the merge happens, now the game starts.
He
right? 'Cause
keeps
everyone's got
pissing by
their
the water well.
individual thing. Yeah, it's fantastic. Love
So by hand gesture only, what is your opinion of the split idol, of the half idol?
it. Yeah. That was
Okay,
a-
so we are not fans of the half idol.
We're all in agreement. That's so
half
nice.
idols are
It's nice to know.
stupid.
So I would like to take in this moment and make a solemn vow to my alliance members that should we land on the island together and a half idol appears, we as an alliance will immediately burn them.
Burn,
Toss them in
motherfucker,
the
burn.
fire. We're done. Okay, I will give you my quick final thoughts on all of this. Great season. It was slow. It was a slow burn, but I'm telling you, the penultimate of this season was Emmy worthy. Like just
And the ending was
phenomenally
like
emotional. Like
when was the last time there was a cliffhanger like that?
yeah,
Right?
I gotta say, it really, really delivered there in the end, and it was really exciting.
No,
to
actually,
watch.
David delivered in the end.
Hey,
Vroom,
good job.
vroom.
Sparkly helmet.
Oh God, where's this? Where's this? There it is.
Man, that was fun. I enjoyed it. So, well, guys, obviously it's been really great getting to watch Australia with you guys again and talking about all the ups and downs. And if you guys that are listening would like to continue this conversation about Australian Survivor or US Survivor or this summer's Big Brother or Traitors or wait for it, I don't know, a certain vampire that goes by the name Lestat. We're going to be here, but you can do all of this on the socials and the Instagram and the Facebook and the TikTok and such. So we encourage you to head on over there and have the conversation there. You can also listen to us anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast at the Jay and Jack Whole Enchilada feed. And speaking of Jay and Jack, we would very much love to thank our Patreons who contribute at a certain level, and they are Eckhart, Rickner, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Now, if you want to become a Patreon, then you can do so by going over to patreon.com/JayandJack. And that's it. That's it. Another
we need
season
a
is
quick
gone.
production note. Just
Okay, give it here.
From production, the QR code you see in the corner of the screen takes you right to Apple, and you can subscribe directly to our podcast.
Oh, making it easy for
Making
us.
it
Thanks,
easy.
production, making it super easy for us. Love it.
Love an easy trail.
Before we go, I did have one thing I wanted to tell you guys. That's not. It's reality TV pertinent, but not AU Survivor pertinent. It is. Did you guys see the announcement of a new Hulu show that is in the works called The Family? It is taping in Tuscany as we speak. It is likened. It is by the same creators as The Traitors, which is weird. Why it's on
There's nothing
Hulu.
available to rent in Tuscany.
No. But
It's a
from
Seinfeld
Hulu.
thing, Christy. If you don't
Oh, okay,
remember
sorry.
it. All right.
Hulu versus Peacock, because the other Traders was on Peacock, but this is them doing a show on Hulu. I don't know. It's got a bunch of great characters on it. People we know. It's a bunch of celebrities, or adjacent celebrities. So like Bruno Tamioli from Dancing with the Stars is one of the competitors. Debbie Mazar, Ada from The Sopranos is going to be on it. Who else? A bunch of people. Oh, Demi from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. There's a bunch of people on it. Okay, so it's going to be Traitor-ish, but people, and they're saying hosted probably by Parker Posey.
Interesting.
So I think there could be some like drama there because she's going to be dramatic, and they're likening it to a mafia style game, which Traitors is also
like
based on.
mafia.
Based
Yeah.
on mafia, sure.
So no, don't know any more than that, but I thought that was interesting to say for anybody. You guys
Well,
can
it might
look
be
up,
worth
see all the-
checking out. I mean, we
it'd
do
be
have,
interesting.
our summer schedule rolling in, but
I don't know when this
take
will
a little
air.
more
Apparently
room.
They're taping right now, so it's probably not going to
Cool.
be out.
Probably fall.
So, later.
fall,
Yeah.
maybe.
And on behalf of the three of us, I have to throw out a mea culpa. We have never predicted as poorly as we have done this season. Boy,
See,
did we suck.
Listen, here's the deal. I picked with my heart.
You actually had Jackson and maybe cross it out
And
for
I
Simon.
had Jackson and Caleb. I went back and forth on them both.
Yep.
You did.
And then I said, nope, I'll take Faith because I didn't have enough girls or something stupid like that. Or I took Simon. I don't remember. I moved a bunch.
You
but
had
those two
Brooke,
were
Faith,
on
and
my-
Simon were your
They
three.
were both
Yeah.
on my radar day one.
I had all girls.
and
I had
Brooke
all
and
girls.
Simon. And Brooke and Simon were in my top, and those were the two returning players that made it the farthest. I had good instincts. I just didn't pull the right ones.
It happens though,
Next
but
year.
it also means it kept us guessing. So
It did. And in the end,
Yeah.
we loved them all. They were just
yeah, it was it was a good time. It's a
Just-
nice way to spend every week looking forward to those episodes.
lots of
And we
people
look-
had redeeming qualities, even if when we
Yeah.
didn't like them initially. So
and we'll look forward to it when the season drops in
Yeah.
2027. So, but for now, it's time for us to say so long, and we look forward to seeing you next season. But until then, good day, good night, and get out. Bye.
Hey, mates.
I'm gonna say like goodbye so long.